Long time no see. So, this is Solo1 with a video review. This time I'm re-uploading a review from an old figure, this time in high definition, from the Evangelion Evolution line from 2011. I have the Revoltech 102, the Evangelion Production Model Unit 2 from Evangelion 2.0 You Cannot Advance, manufactured by Kaiyodo and sculpted by Katsuhisa Yamaguchi, as usual with these figures. So, this is one of my favorite figures. It was actually the first Evangelion Evolution I had, because my EVA Unit 1 got lost in mail and was never to be found. So, yeah, I reviewed this one and it was a very long video review, so I'm going to be more concise this time. As all the Evangelion Evolution figures, this one comes with a lot of gimmicky actions and the typical flickable cover of these figures, so that you can see the figure and all of its contents at the same time. And on the inside of the cover you have different poses, how to assemble some of the things that come with this figure, and even some of the articulations that come with this new mold. This one was made to, I suppose that it was to counter Bandai's Robot Damacy line, which was being released after the 2.0 mold of Evangelion, of the Evangelion Revoltechs. The Robot Damacy line corrected many of the mistakes that Revoltech had. So this one was to build on top of Robot Damacy. In some aspects I think it does better, in some I think it really doesn't. But as usual, I'll let you to judge that. So I'm going to go quickly over this figure as I have reviewed it before. I'm just going to try to be more concise. So here we have the figure out of the box. And the first thing you'll notice is that it comes by default with the S-type equipment, which are the wings that are attached to the pylon and the extended flaps on the forearms. So, yep, this figure and all the figures in the Evangelion Evolution line share the same mold, pretty much. At least EVA Unit 1 has a different chest piece, but the articulation is basically the same. So I'm not going to go around with it, and I'm going to skip straight to the details of the figure. Now, the sculpt of these figures is actually one of my favorites. While it is not as screen accurate as the 2.0 mold and certainly not as much as the Robot Damacy from Bandai, I think that these figures feel, the sculpt of these figures look a bit more organic than those of the 2.0 mold or even the Robot Damacy and even the EVAs on screen. I kind of felt like they were on the skinny side, those units. But it all goes down to preferences. I really like these ones at least. When it comes to details, this EVA Unit 2 is one of my favorites. We can see that there are a lot of tiny details and paint details even on the head of the EVA, including those little flaps on the underside of the chin of the EVA. And there are a ton of little details on the sides. It's actually one of the things that I like the most. And you can see there are pretty much no paint mishaps, at least not on mine. The Evangelion Evolution, the 2.0 mold of this figure of EVA Unit 2 was plagued with errors and production misshapes that I've seen reported on forums a lot. But actually this figure is one of my favorites when it comes to quality control. You can see that all the tiny details that there are on the wings. And the only thing is that the corner, now in the center of the video, the tip of the wing should be like green or blue, because it had these tiny lights like an airplane, but they're missing on this figure. They were painted on the 2.0 mold, but I think they skipped that part for this EVA. When it comes to extras, this figure is actually one of the best ones when it comes to weapons and whatnot. The first thing that you'll notice is the electromagnetic crossbow that comes with this EVA. It's used briefly at the beginning of the movie, but it's a very cool weapon. It's a crossbow, as I said. And the unit comes with its two progressive knives. The Evangelion 2.0 version, which have this hollow line on the middle. Unfortunately, this unit does not come with the attachment to have the extending pilots with the to hold the knives on position. Something that I really liked about the 2.0 figure. And it also comes with the replacement parts to make your EVA unit look like all the other EVA units. It comes with the extra pylons. All you have to do is take out the little peg that holds it in place. Well, take it out of the peg that holds it in place and simply insert this one on top. And it comes with the forearm with the shorter flap in here. You can see it's smaller. And yeah, that's all when it comes to the EVA. So to swap them, I'm going to show you real quick. All you have to do is pull out the figure. It's a tiny Revoltech joint on top of the shoulder of the EVA. It's actually one of my favorite mechanisms for holding the pylons in place. I think that the fact that we would not see these until some of the 3.0 figures, it's kind of a bummer, but well, they learn from their mistakes. And yep, that's it. All you have to do is insert it back and it's going to hold in place. It retains a bit of motion, of independent motion to the arm, but still, if you twist the arm too far back, the pylon will go along. And the same goes for the forearm. All you have to do is twist until you take out the joint and start swapping parts. These figures don't come with extra articulations, so you have to be careful with them, because especially with the tiny articulations on the pylon and on the wrist, this plasticky thing is horrible to work with. And so there you go, you have to do this, insert it back. And the same goes with the hands. I'll show you in a bit all the hands that come with this figure. So it's this tiny peg that it's a nightmare if you get it lost, because Revoltech stopped manufacturing the pegs for their figures. They used to, but I think they stopped doing it. And just like that. Now, when it comes to angel extras, this figure actually comes with two. The first one is this core, the core of two of the angels actually. The first one can be used with a peg in here, so that you put on the foot of the EVA. There are two pegs on the heels of the heel of the EVA to give the impression that it is kicking it. And the second you can use with these indentations, which are that you can use actually with the knife, like this. Just insert it and there you are. The unit is piercing the core of the angel. It is of a semi-transparent, glossy red plastic. If you have to be creative when mounting this figure, because otherwise it's going to show everywhere the other part of the core, or well, you have to be careful when mounting the figure with this thing. The next thing that comes is actually one of the weirdest gimmicks that came with the Evangelion evolutions. It's this vase. As opposed to the vase that the EVA unit is using, that is the same that comes with all the other figures, this one enables some motion from the EVA. It comes with this lever here, with this, how do you call these things? It's not a lever, it's like a dais or dais. Well, the thing is that you can mount the figure on the peg in here and then spin it so that the figure looks like it's going to be doing some mid-air spins or something like that. And the other things that come with this unit are these needle. Yes, these are needles that protrude out of one of the angels at the beginning of Evangelion 2.0, and when the EVA is falling from the sky and it's evading the attacks that these things throw. It comes with 4 on different sizes, and this would go here on the tiny vase, so that if you want to pose your EVA with the thorns, It looks like it's evading them in midair. It comes with this other attachment. It's shorter. What you have to do to use it is get out of the way, pull this one, and there you go. Insert a new one like this. Now, when it comes to gimmicks from this EVAs, this is the weirdest one that comes with them. I see really no practical purpose on this thing, because let's be honest, you're not going to be like messing around with this thing, which is at risk of dropping the figure and breaking it. So, well, it is very interesting. I'm not going to, and very creative too, but I'm not going to say that I see myself using this thing often, like ever. So yeah, I'll give it a B- for trying. But if you're going to be posing it statically, then these things would really do. But I can only imagine if you have a desk and you are like posing these figures randomly. I mean, people can immediately see that they are robots. But if you put this figure with this contraption and all the thorns, people are going to be like, what the hell am I supposed to be looking at? It's really strange, to say the least. So, the EVA also comes with an umbilical cable, which I seem to have lost at the moment. I don't remember where I put it. It's probably in the drawers with all the others. But it's the same thing as usual with this figure. What you have to do is plug it in the back in here. And when it comes to hands, these EVAs all comes with the same number and models of hands. So there are hands for holding knives that are currently in the figure. These hands that are like for running. I can focus it. And there we go. Running hands. Comes with two of these. There is a hand for open palm. Fists, as usual. These are like grasping hands. Gun holding hands, even though this figure does not come with any gun. I mean, at first, because practically all EVAs come with one of those. The last pair of hands is the relaxed palm hand, which is like this. You can see in here that these figures all come with a tiny peg in the middle of the palm. Since all the Evangelion Evolution figures share the same mold down to, except for the head basically, I think that they were made in advance and they just started changing colors and repeating everything. I think that the EVA Unit 0 comes with a different set of hands, if I remember correctly. And in fact, the pegs appear to have been made for EVA Unit 0, because I don't recall any of the other figures actually having a use for that. So I think that it's just a result of model sharing, of mold sharing. But yeah, this is pretty much it about this figure. The last extra that I did not mention was the Robo container, the tiny box to put your hands in there. Well, the EVA's hands in there. You know what I mean. But, and this, the Revoltech chip thingy, worth 10 points, but absolutely worthless in this part of the world, because we could not access to the promotion that was. I think you had to gather like 100 points and you would receive a free figure or something like that. It's already out of production, so I don't think that they have any use whatsoever. But yeah, this is pretty much it for this figure. Now, I'm not going to lie that this is one of my favorite EVAs, and it certainly captures most of the dynamicness of EVA Unit 2. Just like the Evangelion Unit 2, the Beast mode, I think that the Evangelion Evolutions really captured all the dynamic poses that the EVAs could do, and really outdo the 2.0 mold and put it on par with the Raw Damashi. But as usual, that is my opinion. I have said that I like the 2.0 mold because how screen accurate it is, but I like the Evangelion Evolution line more because it is more complete with all the extra figures that they released. So yeah, I'm going to wrap this up now. I'm sorry for the long delay between videos, but I've been busy. I am not currently living anymore in the same city where I'm keeping all of my figures, so I'm going to be uploading the high definition figures. And right now, as of September 2017, Revoltech is re-releasing, like re-releasing, because it's like the 5th time. They are releasing some of the Evangelion Evolution figures, starting with Evangelion Unit 1 and Eva Unit 0, I think it was. I'm going to leave a link in the description below so that you can see. So if you missed any of those figures, you can find it again and not go for a scalper on somewhere else. They're not particularly expensive, the first editions of the figure, but just so that you can have one of the new ones. So yep, that's it. This was Solo 1 in a new video review. The Evangelion Evolution, the Production Model Unit 2, sculpted by Katsuhisa Yamaguchi and manufactured by Kaiyodo on its line Revoltech. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments and questions below, and well, see you later.